श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनो मुकुर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय से जीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कबि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपत दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका बलि मुख बाहि जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सवारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाय जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय। और देवता चित्तर धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलवीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई छूटहि बंदी महा सुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय दात हृदय वहडेरा पवतने संकट हरण भग्गल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नव नील नीरद सुंदरम पटपीत बाणहु तड़ित रुचि सुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम भजु दीन बंधु दीनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु दारु अंग विभूषणम आजानु भुज सर चाप धर संग्राम चित कर दूषणम इति वदति तुलसी दास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम मम हृदय कच निवास कुरु कामादि कलदल गजनम मनु चाहि राचउ मिली सोबरु सहज सुंदर सावरो करुणा निधान सुजान सीलु सनेहु जानत रावरो एहि भक्ति गौरी असीस सुनि सिय सहित ही हर शीअली तुलसी भवानहि पूजी पुनि पुनि मुदित मन मंदिर चली जानि गौरी अनुकूल सिय हे हर्ष न जाए कही मंजुल मंगल मूल बाम अंग फरक न लगे सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। In the last session, when we met almost a month ago, what we did was we ran through the Ramayana till we reached Sunderkand, right? And now we will slowly and steadily enter Sunderkand. So what happens before Sunderkand is we will take a little bit of a background before we enter Sunderkand. So in Sunderkand, before Sunderkand, the Kand is Kiskindha Kand, and in Kiskindha Kand, Ramji meets Hanumanji, and Ramji through Hanumanji meets Sugriv. Sugriv is Bali's brother, and we all know the story, isn't it? Where Bali and Sugriv were brothers, and Bali was chasing a monster, and there was a misunderstanding that Bali was dead, so Sugriv put on a very big block on a cave, and he started ruling instead of his brother, assuming that the brother was dead. And then it just so happened that Bali was alive. He came and he thought that Sugriv had malice and he cheated his brother, and Bali was the stronger one. Sugriv was the weaker one. Bali was the stronger one. So he wanted to chase. He actually chased Sugriv out of the kingdom, and he wanted to kill Sugriv. At that point, to save his own life, he went up to Rishi Mukh Parvat. And in Rishi Mukh Parvat, he considered himself to be safe because there was a curse wherein if Bali entered the Rishi Mukh Parvat, his head would split and he would die. So that was one place where Bali could not enter and Sugriv was safe. Sugriv used to live in Rishimukh Parvat along with a few of his trusted ministers like Jawat and Hanumanji and all, and who were there with him to protect him. It just so happened that once, at that time, Ramji and Ramji and Lakshman were looking for Ma Sita. So it just so happened that they were looking for Sita, and before that they met Shabri, and Shabri said, "Why don't you go and cross the Pampa river, and there somebody will be able to help you. Apparently, you need to meet Sugriv." So he was walking on, and when Sugriv looked down, he got really, really scared. He said, "Oh my God, these two men look very strong. They have a bow but are dressed like sages. Probably who? Bali must have sent them to destroy me." So at that time, he quickly approached Hanumanji. He said, "Hanuman, kindly go and check who these two men are. Have they come to destroy me? If that is the case, you just indicate and I'll run away." Hanumanji followed the orders. He said, "Certainly I will go." And he came down, and we had done this in the Bhagavatam session also, and if you want to listen to the recording, you can, as how Sri Hanuman met Ramji and he revealed to himself, he started talking, and then Ramji understood it as Hanuman, but Hanumanji could not recognize Ramji, and later on, they got to know each other, and Hanumanji took Ramji to Sugriv, and he was the cause of both of them becoming friends, and Ramji pledged that he would protect Sugriv, he would get his wife back from Bali, get the kingdom and destroy Bali. Right? So all this happened, and Sugriv promised that when all this happens, when he is established in power again, he would help Ramji look for Sita with the help of his army and all. He said, "I will in return help you look for Ma Sita. I promise that my dharma is to do Ram Karya." But what happened then? I'm going in a very fast mode because, it's a very long thing and there are lots of lessons to be learned in that story also. But now we have to start Sunderkand, isn't it? But the battle was won. Sugriv got his own kingdom. And he got his wife back. He started ruling. Everything was all right. And he said, "Let me just put all the matters in place," because the kingdom was in shambles. He said, "Let me just address to the issues of the kingdom. Once everything is there, everything is in place, Sri Ram, I promise to come and help you look for Ma Sita." So Sri Ram and Lakshman were still there in Rishimukh Parvat. Sugriv promised that once all the administrative issues are sorted, I will come and help you look for Sita. Time went by, all the administrative issues were sorted. But then the weather was not in their favor. So he said, "Let the weather get better. And once the weather is better, I will send my army and then we'll look for Sita." Ramji said, "No problem. I agree, because in this kind of a rainy weather, it is very difficult to venture out for your monkeys. So no problem." Now the weather also became better. Yet Sugriv never came back to help Ramji look for Ma Sita. At this time, Lakshmanji got very, very upset. And Hanumanji was also very, very agitated. He reminded Sugriv that what he needs to do is Ram Kaj. He had promised that once everything is in place, right? "I promise, my lord, I will turn to you." And Hanumanji reminded him. And when Hanumanji at that point in the castle was reminding Sugriv that he had promised Ramji to look for Ma Sita, Lakshmanji also came, and when Lakshmanji came in his anger, he shouted and the entire Kiskindha started trembling. Of course, Lakshmanji is an avatar of Sheshnag. And they somehow pacified Lakshmanji, and Sugriv said, "I made a very big error. Now I will go and apologize, and I am going to start the hunt for Ma Sita." This is the background, but the beauty of the conversation when Sugriv addresses Ramji and he accepts his folly and he says, I am sorry. I apologize for what I have done. And I'll just read it out for you over here. Bowing his head at Sri Ram's feet, he exclaimed, with joint palms, my lord, I am not at all to blame for what I have done. Exceedingly powerful, O Lord, is your Maya, deluding potency, which withdraws itself only when you, O Ram, show your grace. So he's apologizing. At the same time, he's saying what to do. Your Maya is so powerful. Aapki Maya itni sundar hai. It pulls me. And I got deluded by your Maya because without your grace, it is not possible to break the shackles of your Maya. Don't we also do that? When the times are good, everything is nice and green, all is nice. Do we think about the Lord? No, right? We say we're very busy. There's so much to do. There's so much to mend. There is so much I have to take care of. Right now is not the time to think about the Lord. Maybe later, and normally it is a trend, right? No, you are too young to get involved in this puja, part, bhajan and all. This is for old people. But, the sages say, मुंह में दांत नहीं, पेट में हाथ नहीं, आप क्या भजन करोगे? What, when you can't even sit in one place, when you are not even independent to make your own decisions, is that the time to talk about the Lord or think about the Lord? When everything, no. In fact, many of the ashrams say, please, we do not want people with white hair, or that means people who are old to come. We are looking for people who are young and at a young age who take to Lord. They're not stopping the old from coming. They do take care of the people who are old, the spiritual ashrams I'm taking about. But those who have joined and who have taken to spirituality from the very beginning, they say, for the old, what will we do? Their life is almost gone. It's all over. What corrections will be made? What actions would be taken? होता है ना, काल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में परले होएगा, फेर करेगा कब? So people keep postponing the name of the Lord and the samarpan and surrender to the Lord to the very end. But as this poet says, whatever you want to do day after, do it today, and do it right now. Because it takes a minute for the entire drama to get over. Pralay, the destruction, you won't even know. Aaj swas hai, kal nahi hai. Just imagine this human birth, which is so precious. You get after thousands and thousands of yonis, after taking so many births, you get one human birth. And that also is what? Very short. And yet, we leave surrendering to the Lord or breaking the shackles of life and birth till the very end. But Sugriv has a good explanation. He says, my God, your Maya is so attractive. Don't we get attracted by the Lord's Maya? अच्छा लगता है, माया सुंदर है. See, राम सुंदर है तो राम की माया तो उससे भी ज़्यादा सुंदर है ना. We love it. It is enticing. It is so, it is so deluding. It pulls. Maya pulls. Maya is what? My beautiful house, my beautiful children, my amazing husband, my beautiful friends, going out here. This is all Maya. Maya is delusion. But it pulls. It is beautiful. Why deny it? Lord's Maya is amazing. And Sugriv says, your Maya is so deluding. I also got lost in the comfort of my palace, with my wife, in the comfort of life. I totally forgot about you, my Lord, and the work I was supposed to do for you. I had committed that henceforth my life is going to be at your beck and call, and I forgot. But now please don't blame me for that. Sugriv is saying, I made a mistake, but I am not to blame. It is your Maya. Your Maya is so beautiful. And who can break the shackles of the Maya? Not me. Sugriv says, not me, not anybody else. Only when you shower your grace on somebody. When you pour your grace, When you want that person to awaken, so the person would awaken. So where am I wrong? But we have to understand one thing. Is Lord's grace selective? Is it that He showers His grace only on a few people and not on the others? He showered His grace on a sage and not on anybody else who's not praying? No, that's not true. Lord's grace is like the sun. It rises in the morning, it shines all day long, it is willing to spread joy and warmth to everybody. No bias, no distinction. Everybody is equal for the sun, and so too everybody is equal for the grace of the Lord, for the Lord. But if we decide to close our curtains, it's bright and nice and it's a sunny day, and we decide to pull our curtains, pull our blinds, and those curtains with blinds and thick curtains, we pull them and we make our house dark. Is the sun to blame or we to blame? So the grace is always flowing. When it rains, it is not biased, isn't it? That I'll actually make this person wet, the other person should remain dry. No. So the grace is flowing just like the rain or the sunlight. But if we choose to close the curtains of our heart, or to use the umbrella so that we don't get wet or soaked in the grace, whose fault is it? So when Sugriva is saying over here that your grace is the only way to break the shackles of mundane existence and delusion, he is trying to say that yes, your grace is needed, but I have to work to make myself eligible also, right? Isn't eligibility needed? Now, how did Sugriv reach here? Two people warned him, right? Hanumanji and Lakshman awakened him. We all have Hanumanji and Lakshman with us all the time, just like Sugriv. And they're constantly knocking the doors of our heart and trying to open our eyes and making us turn towards the Lord. Who is our Lakshman and who is our Hanuman? Our Lakshman is our conscience. Whenever you do something wrong, there is this little voice in your heart which will say, no. But what we do is, we just squash and we torture that voice, we ignore that voice, we suppress that voice till that voice is not audible anymore. But we all have Lakshman, our conscious, with us constantly telling us, turn towards the Lord. Is this the right utilization of your time? What you're saying, is it right? Is it useful? Is it kind? The conscious is constantly at it, but we choose to ignore it. And who's Hanuman? Hanuman is Sakshat Bhakti. We all have this element of bhakti and love for our Creator in our heart. There is some attachment to this Creator. It is natural. We might negate it, we might ignore it, we might choose to refute that we have any amount of bhakti in our heart. But I refuse to believe, and I can't believe that any individual who exists is free of bhakti and devotion to that divine Lord. For that matter, even an atheist, I feel, has devotion to the divine Lord because he refutes so vehemently. He's refuting so vehemently the existence of somebody that he is constantly thinking about him, right? So Bhakti, that is Hanumanji, and Lakshman, our consciousness, are always tapping the doors of our heart, and they're telling us, please wake up, turn towards the Lord. Ab nahi kiya to kab karega? They're not stopping us from living our life, let me remind you. Nobody is asking you to, as I always keep saying, nobody is asking you to change your mannerisms and your ways of life. Nobody is asking you to do that. Just to be awakened. We had Raja Janak also, who was living in opulences. We have examples of so many great sages who were householders, who had opulence. Ramji was a prince, Krishna was a king, Raja Janak was a king. So that is not the indication of awakening or, when you open your heart to bhakti and the Lord, nothing like that. It is how you behave changes. Your outlook towards the world changes. When we sing the bhajan towards the end, you'll understand. It is as simple as improving our, getting rid of our bad habits. Aadat buri sudhar lo. Bas, ho gaya bhajan. Ho gayi bhakti. And for a person, see, it is a litmus test. Okay? A person who's constantly praying and doing puja and doing jap and doing tap, but if his mannerisms don't show it, if there is no saralta, there is no sabhyata, his language is harsh, karkash hai uski bhasha, then there has not been anything. The words were only till the mouth. So speaking to even the parrot does, right? Parrot also speaks. So you chant ta 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 Vishnu Sahasranama or jap and tap and up, and when you get up from your prayers, your mannerisms are the same. Gussa, right? You are using foul language, you are getting jealous, you are wanting to hoard, you are having all those vices in you intact. That means your prayers are futile. Koi matlab nahi hai. See, if you keep wiping a surface and the surface is not getting clean, that means you need to do something else, isn't it? It's not working. So you're conscious and bhakti. There is no particular way to do it. But the litmus test is, am I becoming a better mom? Am I becoming a better friend? Am I becoming a better wife? Am I becoming a better daughter? Am I being good to myself? Have I stopped condemning myself? Have I stopped ridiculing myself? Have I accepted myself the way I am? So these are the questions you should ask to see where you stand in your spiritual journey. So he says, your Maya. Okay, let's go further. Then, exceedingly powerful, O Lord, is your Maya, and it's the deluding potency, which withdraws itself only when you, O Ram, show your grace to a Jeev. Again he says, God, men and sages, my master, are all slaves of their senses, while I am a vile brute and a monkey. He said, I'm just a monkey. Even the gods, the man and the sages are slaves of their senses. What are our senses? We have 5 karmendriyas, we have 5 jnanendriyas. Aren't we slaves of our senses? Of course we are. We want to see. We don't want to see the Lord. We want to see all nice and good things. We do not want to talk about the Lord, but we want to talk about gossips, hot gossips. It's boring, isn't it, to talk about only good things? Kya baat karenge after a point? So, our senses, our mouth, our ears do not want to listen to kirtan and harikatha or good. It is very interesting to listen to negativity around us, isn't it? Our nose pokes our nose. It's nice to poke our nose into other people's business. Our hands, we use to hoard and take care of ourselves only. We do not use our hands to give. Our legs go to places of enjoyment. It's so nice to go there. But do we go to temples? Do we go to slums to serve? So all these, our indriyas, what we eat, how we talk, what we listen, what we hear, what we see, is not in our control. We are in the control of our indriyas. When I say we and the indriyas, again a reminder, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses. I am not the emotions. I am the witness. But this witness has forgotten that he is not the body, he is not the mind, he is not the indriya. In Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful story, the story of Puranjana. It says that he got lost. The body has been described, in that we'll take that story some other time. The body has been described as a castle with various gates, as all our indriyas, the gates for entry and exit and all. And inside, there is a beautiful maiden, and this Puranjana falls in love with her. He falls in love with her so much so that he forgets his own existence. When she cries, he cries. When she is hungry, he is hungry. When she is anxious, he is anxious. When she wants to sleep, he sleeps. When she wants to run, he runs. So basically, there is no existence of him anymore. That is what has happened to us. We are driven by our indriyas. We are so much in love with this body, which is not me, with these emotions and ego, which is not me, with all the senses, all the thoughts that are going on in my mind, the things my eyes want to see, my ears, my nose. Neither am I the karmendriya, nor am I the jnanendriya. I am the witness, but just like Puranjana forgot that he had an independent existence and he started feeling all the emotions that a beloved wife was feeling, we too have forgotten that we are just the witness, we are the divine Satchitanand Swarup, and we are engrossed in all the emotions and the thunder and the storms and everything, the joy and the sorrow which is happening around us because of our indriyas and our body. So we are just witness. We are. But the indriyas control us. The beauty is, some people, like the people we look up to, they are able to control the indriyas. They are able to tell them that you and me are different. It is not that you are the master. I am the master and you are supposed to listen to me. So he's saying when gods and the sages and even man is unable to control his senses, is a slave to his senses, yes, slave to his desires, slave to his wishes, who am I? I am just a mere monkey. So again he's saying, I apologize, but it is not my fault. Firstly, your kripa is the only way where we can be liberated and we can elevate. Second, it is very difficult to control the indriyas, my lord. I am just a mere monkey. And he is being honest. We all should know. For all of us, it is difficult. Nobody says it's easy, right? This path is not for the weak of heart, to be very honest. Sages say na, आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है. आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है, और it is that double-edged sword on which you are walking. This is the path. And if you are not willing to do that, if you think you are not courageous enough, it is best not to walk on that path. Because see, if many people feel that spirituality and puja, path, bhajan, kirtan will give me joy, right? It will take away all my obstacles. I will have a pink and rosy life hereafter because God is going to take care of me. He is going to clear all my obstacles. Everything will become nice and blissful and I'll be happy for the rest of my life. There is no such promise which is being made by our scriptures. Nothing will change. I promise you, nothing will change. If hardships are supposed to come, they will come. If you're supposed to become ill, you will become ill. If you're supposed to lose all your wealth, you will lose all your wealth. Many people ask me, you know what? Vivekananda was such a great devotee. He was such an elevated soul. Why did he die so young? Or Ramcharitra Manas, he was a follower of Devi Ma. Why did he have cancer? Why did he suffer so much? Scriptures and our God does not promise you to take away your suffering. Does not promise to take away your suffering. He does not promise. There's no such promise made and there is no such indication also. If we want to believe it, it is our fault. So then what's the point, you'd say, right? What's the point of going into Sunderkand? Because mostly people say कि हनुमान जी के सुंदरकांड करो तो संकट कट जाएगा, संकट ही नहीं आएगा. I mean, right now also it's a lot is happening, do Sunderkand, do Hanuman Chalisa, ये संकट कट जाएगा. संकट कटना होगा तो वैसे भी कट जाएगा और नहीं कटना होगा तो कितनी ही हनुमान चालीसा कर लो नहीं कटेगा. But benefit है. There is a great benefit. What is the benefit? The benefit is that all through the turmoil, even if the situation is adverse, your body is not with you, everything around you is falling apart. Nothing is working in your favor. कहते हैं ना, जहां मैं हाथ लगाता हूँ वहाँ मट्टी हो जाता है, सोना भी मट्टी हो जाता है. I am in such a horrible state that whatever I touch turns into mud. Right? That will also not change. Then what will happen? In spite of the adversities around you, you will remain calm and composed. You will be calm, composed, blissful, happy. There will be anand in you. Nobody, no situation will be able to stir you, stir your balance, stir your faith, stir your happiness. No external situation, to be very honest, no external situation, no external person has the power to make you sad or agonize you. Nobody has the power. The locus of control should always be inside. Why do we give our control to somebody else? Why we put the locus of control outside? We let everything around us affect us, and then we say, उसने मुझे दुखी कर दिया. If the situation was better, I would have been happy. No matter what the situation, if you are always with the Lord, no matter what the situation, you will not get agitated, you will not get agonized. No form of sorrow will touch you. You might not have food on your plate, but your heart will be contented. This is what Hari Katha, Hari Naam, Puja Path does. It does not take away your agony, it does not take away your hardships. It gives you the strength to face the adverse situations with courage and bravery, without breaking or without getting depressed. So he's saying two things. It's difficult to control by senses. And then what does he say? A man who is not pierced by the shaft of these things and who remains wakeful even in the dark night of anger, who is not swayed by passion and who is never caught in a mess of greed, is as good as yourself, my Lord. He says, if there is somebody who does not have काम, क्रोध, मोह, लोभ, अहंकार, बद और बत्सर्य. What is it? काम is desire, not only desires, trishna. Krodh, anger. What is anger? When things don't happen our way, we become angry. Then, but why should things happen our way? Things are happening the way they should happen. Why should we get angry? Right? Then, Ka, Krodh, Moha. Moha is delusion. Delusion is what? Delusion is simply that we see two. We see there is mine and yours. As in the previous session I said, what is delusion? What is Maya? Delusion is Maya. Maya is what? Main arubor tor te Maya. When you say there is a mine and there is a yours. Ye mera hai, ye tumhara hai. That is Maya. Simple. And that is the cause of all problems, isn't it? And the example which is very simple is, suppose your finger pokes your eye, you're not going to go and cut your finger. But suppose somebody else's finger pokes your eye, you are going to raise hell and earth and say, how dare he hit me? So, the bow is me arubor torate bhaya. So, ka, krodh, boh, lobh, greed. We are all greedy. और चाहिए, और चाहिए, और चाहिए. 2 कमरे हैं तो 3 कमरे का घर चाहिए. 3 है तो 4 कमरे का घर चाहिए. We want cars from one brand to another, from another brand to a better brand. And then clothes that we wear, if we could afford a Rado, then we want a better brand. It is like, crazy greed. We want. One house here, one house there, one house somewhere else. We open our cupboards and we can see the amount of greed being displayed in our cupboards and our shoe racks. That's greed. Ka, krodh, moh, lobh and ahankar. Ahankar is the worst. Ego. I am. Main hu. I. Always remember. Jahan main, wahan hari nahi, aur jahan hari, wahan main nahi. Man minus ego is equal to God. Simple. And this ego, be it good ego or bad ego, we'll discuss more in detail, is not okay. Any form of ego should be let aside. And bad. Bad क्या होता है? Oh, pride, Oh, I did so and so, and my child is so and so. Bad is like a dasha. It is intoxicating. And then what is it? Batsarya. Batsarya क्या होता है? Batsarya is again very much. Batsarya is envy. When we envy people, it's very bad, huh? And we don't even know. And why? Just notice, you envy those who are better than you. You'll never envy those who have lesser than you, who have less than you. Why envy? Be compassionate towards the person who has less and be happy for the person who has more. It's easier said than done, I agree. It's easier said than done. But okay. And then there is one thing more, babakara. I feel this is more deadly than ego. Babakara is mine, babda, mera, mera bacha, mera pati, babda, babakara. You can get rid of ego, but this babakara does not leave you. Bharat, King Bharat, he left his castle, he left everything, he went to a hut to do his tapasya. Okay? And he was doing his tapasya when he saw a mother deer jump. She was being chased by a lion. So she leaped from one bank to the other. And while she was leaping from one bank to the other, she was expecting, and her baby fell into the river. The mother deer, the minute she reached the next side of the river, she died. And this baby was floating down the river. So Raja Bharat, now mind you, Raja Bharat had taken to sannyas. He had left everything, his children, his kingdom, everything. And he was lean in tapasya. He was just doing tapasya for moksha. But the minute he saw this deer, of course, it's genuine, he jumped over to save him. And when he saved him, he nursed this deer, he brought the deer back. But what happened was, he got attached to this deer. See, attachment is very dangerous. And we know, right? There's a difference between love and attachment, which we have discussed in the last session. So, attachment, babakara, babata. He fell in love with this deer. And he left everything, but his heart got stuck in this deer. And it is said that later when he passed away, in his next birth, he was born as a deer. So, एक बार हम ईगो भी छोड़ देंगे. बट ये बबता, एक माँ से पूछो ना, बबता कैसे छूटती है? नहीं छूटती. It's difficult. But there are examples. When you look at the books of our history books, you realize, I remember the story vividly. I don't remember the names, but then there was this kingdom, and it was under attack. It was under attack, and they destroyed the king, they killed the king, they killed the queen, and now they were looking for the only one baby they had was the prince, and they wanted to kill the prince also, so that no heir to the kingdom is left. So this Danny, this maid, she had a son exactly the same age as the prince. And look at this brave lady. She knew it was very important for millions and millions of people that the prince be saved. You know what did this mother do? She replaced the babies. She put her own baby. And she took the prince away and she hid behind. The soldiers came and they thought that this was the prince. And while this mother was hiding with the prince, they chopped the head of the baby away. The mother ran away with the prince. She raised him. And later she brought him back to redeem the kingdom. So it's not impossible. But for that, there is another level of being, and we can reach that level. It requires practice. Just practice. So he's saying, if a person is able to get rid of all these things, Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Ahankar, Mad, Matsarya, and Babakara, my Lord, he is like you, right? What does he say? Lobh paas jahi gar na badhaya, So dar tub saman raghuraya. When all these vikars, the lobe, greed is not able to bind this person, when all the vices are not able to bind somebody, my Lord, isn't he just like you then? लोभ पास जही गर न बधाया सो दर तुम समान रघुराया यह गुण साधन ते नहीं होई तुम्हारी कृपा पावे कोई कोई. Look at the words he has used. So beautiful, isn't it? यह गुण साधन ते नहीं होई तुम्हारी कृपा पाए कोई कोई. So he's saying, I'm at fault, right? I got deluded by your maya. I got controlled. I could not control my senses and I wandered in this world of luxuries, right? I could not control the vices in me. But my Lord, if anybody is able to do all this, isn't he just like you? So he's appreciating Lord. There is a beauty in the way we talk also, right? We have to, from these scriptures, vyavhar aata hai, how we have to live is taught to us, okay? From how to walk, how to sit, how to behave, how to love, how to see, how to forgive, and how to talk. It is so beautiful. The words, the way he has talked is like heart-touching. He says the person who is able to free himself from all these is just like you, my Lord, because you are free from the shackles of all these things. And now, this is not possible by effort alone. This is a very important point over here. This is not possible by effort alone. It is only possible when you shower the person with your grace. यह गुण साधन ते नहीं होई. कोई भी साधन कर लो. What is sadhan? Sadhan is when you're doing jap, when you're doing tap, when you're doing hat yog, when you're doing your fasting. अभी नवरात्रे चल रहे ना, नवरात्रा is on, so you're doing your fasting. When you are trying to control your senses, when you're saying I won't get angry, when you are observing Maunrat, all these are sadhans. What are sadhans? All this is sadhana, right? Sadhana is so that you are able to control the self. But he's saying this is not possible by sadhana. If it is not possible by sadhana, you might ask me that hum kare kyun? What is the use? It is futile, right? No, it is not possible. It is not futile. करना तो पड़ेगा ना. करना तो पड़ेगा. There is a saying which goes, ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो. ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो. कर्म कर जिंदगानी में. पर जियो दुनिया में यो जैसे कमल रहता है पानी में. ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो. कर्म कर जिंदगानी में. जियो दुनिया में यो जैसे कमल रहता है पानी में. Kamal is there, right? वो कीचड़ के बीच में रहता है. There's so much of bird and dirt around him. But it is always pure and clean. So nobody is asking you to leave what you're doing, first thing. But you should not leave Lord at the same time. So when you say कि साधन क्यों करना चाहिए, it is also a catch-22 kind of a situation. To know that you don't need to do anything, you have to do. So you have to take the entire circle of doing all these sadhans till you realize that it was not needed. Why was it not needed? Because you are that Tattvam Asi Aham Brahmasmi. I am that divine only. When I am that divine, I am the witness. I am not this ego. I am not this mind. I am not this body. I am not the vices. I am not the senses. Then why do I have to do the sadhan? Because you have to realize it. It is just not merely me saying and you listening and you accepting. You have to experience it, right? For us to experience it, we have to cleanse ourselves. But we have to remember, till we feel that we have been able to cleanse ourselves and we have reached a certain level because of my effort, that is ego. See, I worked so hard, I observed born. Born is being quiet, okay? Some people observe it for a few hours, few days. It has a lot of power. I observed board. I did so much of fasting. I did so much of tapasya. I did prayers every day. And see, I have been able to conquer my anger. Bhai, you have conquered your anger, nahi. But what that ego is there, na? That ego is saying, I have conquered my anger. So you're not free of the vices. So what are you supposed to do? You just have to take the name of the Lord. You have to do good with your heart, see good, practice all the sadhans. And when unknowingly, without your knowing, without any effort, one by one, all your desires, your vices, your trishna, your ichha, your anger, your jealousy drops off without your knowing. Then you have reached. Because then you will know that I did not do anything. All I did was Hari Naam. And see, when I turned back and I looked, I realized that I've changed. I'm a totally different person now. वो गुस्सा कहाँ गया, वो jealousy कहाँ गई, वो अकड़ा अकड़ी where से मेरी बात, my independent identity कहाँ गई? And then you say कि I did not do anything. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. Everything that is happening around me is His kripa. Because I have not put in any effort. That is when true enlightenment and true upliftment of an individual happens. We'll keep discussing this point. I know it is a bit... See, there is a very thin line between aggression and anger, right? Being aggressive and assertive, sorry. There's a very thin line between being aggressive and assertive. All these things which we are talking about in spirituality, there is a very thin line between ego and surrender also. So we are not saying that we do not have to put in effort. Now, Sugriva is not saying that he was in Rishimukh Parvat, right? He was living in Rishimukh Parvat. He was with Hanumanji. Hanumanji is bhakti, isn't it? So he was doing his bit. He was sitting on Rishimukh Parvat. What is Rishimukh? As we discussed last time, Rishimukh is sitting at the feet or listening to the katha or being in the company of the saints. Right? What are saints? In one of the sessions we have discussed it deeply. Saints are people who are various ways you can explain saints. Saints don't have to be dressed in orange or yellow, no. Their mannerisms, their actions, when they are selfless, they are saints. When they are generous, they are saints. When they are kind and honest, they are saints. So when he was in Rishimukh Parvat, he was in the company of saints. He was sitting at the mouth of saints. He was listening to Hari Katha. He was in the company of good. He was in the company of Sat. He was practicing it. It was kind of a tapasya and he had bhakti with him. See, all the effort that you put, it could be jap, tap, naam or hat yog, whatever you do, if there is no bhakti, it is dry. What is bhakti? Bhakti is love for God. True love. Where you don't want anything from the Lord. When you say, Hey Prabhu, I just love taking your name. I do not want anything in return. I just love being with you. I just love being in your company. You have given me so much. You have given me more than I deserve actually. And I know you have been so gracious. You've been so kind. And even if you don't give me anything, even if you take away everything that I possess right now, I will still love you. I don't take your name because I want something from you, my Lord. I take your name because I love taking your name. I don't even, sometimes, Lord, I don't even want your darshan, I feel that suppose I have your darshan and you are there, I wouldn't be able to call out, right? My prayers call out to you. My prayers are reaching you. And my prayers, I just want to continue doing this. Probably I don't even want mukti from you. My dear Lord, all I want is to love you. So this was bhakti. When there is no trade, there is no vyapar, there is nothing that you seek. To Ramkrishna Paramahansa, when he was having cancer and he used to see Devi directly. They say he could see Ma Devi directly. So they came and asked him, when you can see the Devi, why don't you ask her to heal you? Right? You have direct connection with the Lord. So why don't you ask the Lord to heal you? He said, how can I ask from her? She has given me everything without my asking. This is nothing. This is just a little suffering of the body. I don't want anything from my mother. I just want to love my mother. I just want to love Devi Ma. I just want to love my Kali. I don't want to ask her, burden her by asking her, or make my relationship selfish by asking or expecting something from her. That is bhakti. We use this term, I am a devotee of Lord, very liberally. We should not. Being a devotee is the ultimate state. Being a devotee of the Lord is the ultimate state. So what do we do? Now I'm asking you not to call yourself a devotee of God by bhaktu, nahi. What should I do then? I would say, you can call yourself the child of Lord. मैं प्रभु का बच्चा हूं. That's it. दूध पीता बच्चा. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know what is right. Sugriv ने क्या किया? Sugriv has done exactly what Lakshman ji did initially when Ramji was leaving for Vanvas, right? So he and then Sita Ma convinced him, and Ram and Sita Ma reached the exit of the palace. They were about to leave, and Lakshman, he changed and he came and he fell at Ramji's feet. He said, how could you leave me and go without me? I am supposed to be with you. I cannot live without you. I'll serve you. I'll take care of Ma Sita and you. Ramji said, no, no, no. And he gave a lot of logical explanation as to why Lakshman ji has to be in Ayodhya. Take care of your the parents, take care of the kingdom, take care of Bharat because he's very soft of heart, take care of Urmila, that is your wife, your duty. But then Lakshman ji says, no logic goes into my head. I don't understand logic, my lord. ये ज्ञानवान की बातें मुझे समझ नहीं आती है. I am your baby. Ram, Lakshman ji said, I am your baby, not a grown-up baby. Huh? I am your doodh pita bacha, the baby which is still feeding. So a baby who is feeding on the mother's milk cannot be parted with the mother, right? He or she wants to be with the mother. So I am your doodh pita bacha. All I know is that I want to be with you. You are my mother. I am your child. There can be no other way. I have to be with you. I don't understand any logic. I am not wise. I am not a ज्ञानी. मुझे ये सब बातें समझ ही नहीं आती है. As Sugriv says, I am a papi, I am adham, I am a monkey, I am not even a man. God or sage तो बहुत दूर की बात हो गई. And I am not claiming. This is how we should talk to Lord also, right? Hey Prabhu, you think that I am a jnani or a yogi or a tapasvi? I am not that. Siddha sada prani, right? I'm a simple individual. I'm not a jnani, I'm not a yogi, I'm not a tapasvi. My indriyas are not in my control. They keep dancing around and they make me dance all the time. Kabhi idhar khishti hai, kabhi udhar khishti hai. I'm pulled all around. So ना तो मैं ज्ञानी हूँ, ना तपस्वी हूँ, ना योगी हूँ, and my indriyas are not in my control. And oh my God, I love your Maya. Oh God, it is so, it lures me all the time. Your Maya is so beautiful. And there is no denying that fact. Prabhu ki Maya. Maya and the temptations and the beauty of the world and beauty of possessions. It's his and it is beautiful. And unfortunately, I am always pulled towards your Maya. I am not. So again, I'm not elevated. I have not broken the shackles of your Maya. I have not been able to control my indriyas. I get angry at the drop of a pin. Okay? This is, let's be honest to the Lord. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Now, I am not a sage, right? I am not an elevated soul. I am not a tapasvi and I can't do sadhana. मुझसे तो नहीं होता प्रभु. But, my Lord, the people who are able to do all this are just like you, right? It's you who can do all this. And it is only your grace that can free me from all this. So, my Lord, please accept me the way I am. मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. Please accept me, my Lord. Shower your grace on me, my Lord. Take me to be your own, my Lord. Please, my Lord. क्योंकि यह गुण साधन ते नहीं होई. कितने ही साधन कर लूं प्रभु, मुझसे नहीं होगा, मुझसे नहीं होगा. क्यों? तुम्हारी कृपा पावे कोई कोई. ये साधन से नहीं होता है प्रभु, ये कृपा से होता है. Hence I surrender. मैं जैसा हूं, मैं तेरा हूं. And ये सब साधन से तो होना ही नहीं है. No matter how hard I try, it's not going to happen. Not that I'm not trying, but I know it is going to happen with your kripa. And please accept me as your child. I don't even claim to be your devotee. बाबा रे, devotee का तो नौकर बनने लायक नहीं हूँ मैं. I'm not even capable to become the servant of your true devotee, my Lord. That capability also I don't have. But please take me as your child and shower your grace and your kripa on me, my Lord, because ye guna sadhana se nahi hoi, तुम्हारी कृपा पाए कोई कोई. जय श्री राम, जय श्री हनुमान. We'll continue. So, we'll keep continuing. So this is what we need to do before we get into Sunderkand. This is the kind of surrender, this is the kind of prayer that we need to offer our Lord. कहते हैं ना, बैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, बैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आओ. हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन घबराओ. बैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आओ. हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन घबराओ. बैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, बैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे. हे प्रभु, it is only your kripa that can make my efforts fruitful. प्रभु, I'll put in my efforts. I will not stop my sadhana. But I know, no matter how much I put in, it is only your kripa that will liberate me. I promise that the effort will be mine. But Prabhu, don't forget me. Turn here, look towards me, and let your grace flow. Let your grace flow. We'll sing the bhajan. The bhajan, where is the bhajan? निरंतर स्वस्थ चिंतन हो यही सबसे बड़ा धन है. निरंतर स्वस्थ चिंतन हो यही सबसे बड़ा जप है. न उतरा आचरण में तो सबूचा ज्ञान गप शप है. न उतरा आचरण में तो सबूचा ज्ञान गप शप है. रहे भूखे मगर फिर भी न खाए पाप की रोटी. रहे भूखे मगर फिर भी न खाए पाप की रोटी. बचे बुरी आदतों से यही इस युग का सबसे बड़ा तप है. बचे बुरी आदतों से. God, so give me the strength to shield myself from all the bad habits, all the negative tendency, because that is the biggest tapasya, that is the only way to liberate myself in Kali Yuga. आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन. आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन. हो गया भजन बस हो गया भजन. आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन. विषयों की तीव्र आग में जलता ही जा रहा. विषयों की तीव्र आग में जलता ही जा रहा. मन की तरंग मार लो बस हो गया भजन. मन की तरंग मार लो बस हो गया भजन. आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन. आए कहाँ से और अब जाना कहाँ हमें. आए कहाँ से और अब जाना कहाँ हमें. मन में यही विचार लो बस हो गया भजन. मन में यही विचार लो बस हो गया भजन. दृष्टि में मेरी दोष है दुनिया निहारती. दृष्टि में मेरी दोष है दुनिया निहारती. सबता का अंजन आज लो बस हो गया भजन. सबता का अंजन आज लो बस हो गया भजन. आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन. नेकी सभी के साथ में जितनी बने करो. नेकी सभी के साथ में जितनी बने करो. मत सरबदी का भार लो बस हो गया भजन. बत सरबदी का भार लो बस हो गया भजर। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजर। दुनिया तुम्हें बुरा कहे पर तुम करो शबा। दुनिया तुम्हें बुरा कहे पर तुम करो शबा। वादी को भी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजर। वादी को भी संभाल लो बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। कटुता बनो से त्याग दो मीठे वचन कहो। कटुता बनो से त्याग दो मीठे वचन कहो। वादी का स्वर सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। वादी का स्वर सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। अच्छे बुरे जो भी तुम्हें कर्मों के फल मिले। अच्छे बुरे जो भी तुम्हें कर्मों के फल मिले। हंस कर सभी गुजार दो बस हो गया भजन। हंस कर सभी गुजार दो बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। जाना है सबको एक दिन दुनिया को छोड़ के। जाना है सबको एक दिन दुनिया को छोड़ के। जीवन को तुम सवार लो बस हो गया भजन। जीवन को तुम सवार लो बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। बस हो गया भजन। बस हो गया भजन। आदत बुरी सुधार लो बस हो गया भजन। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। बोलो बजरंग बली की Jai. Now we'll do the Aarti. Aarti of Ravayatji, and we'll do the Aarti of Hanumanji also. आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित सलित सिया पी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की। गावत ब्रह्मा दिक्मुनि नारद, बाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद। सुख सनकादि शेष अनुसारद, बरनी पवन सुत कीरति की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश। छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को बस। छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस। मुनि जन धन संतन को सरबस। सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की। गावत सप्तत शंभु भवानी, अरुगत संभव बुद्धि विज्ञानी। व्यास आदि कब बरज बखानी, काग भुसुंडी गरुड़ के ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की। कलिबल हरि विषय रस पी की। सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुगती की। दलन रोग भव भूरि अभी की। तात बात सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। जाके बल से गिरिबर कापे, रोग दोष जाके निकट न झापे। अंजनी पुत्र महाबलदाई, संतन के प्रभु सदा सहाय। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। अंजनी पुत्र महाबलदाई, संतन के प्रभु सदा सहाय। देवीरा रघुनाथ पठाए, लंका जारी सिया सुधिलाए। लंका सुकोट सबूद सिखाई, जात पवन सुत बार डलाई। लंका जारी असुर संहारे, सिया राम जी के काज सवारे। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित पड़े सखारे, आदि सजीवन प्राण उबारे। बैठी पाताल तोरी जबकारे, अहिरावण की भुजा उखाड़े। बाएं भुजा असुर दल मारे, दाहिने भुजा संत जन तारे। सुर नर मुनि जन आरती उतारे, जय 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 हनुमान उचारे। कंचन थार कपूर लो छाई, आरती करत अंजना बाई। जो हनुमान जी की आरती गावे, बसी बैकुंठ परम पद पाए। लंका विध्वंस किए रघुराय, तुलसीदास जाकी कीरति गाई। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती कीजे हनुमान जी की। आरती श्री जय हनुमान लला की। आरती कीजे हनुमान लला की। जय श्री राम, जय श्री हनुमान। धन्यवाद प्रभु।